you go.
Hello everyone. I was planning on talking a little bit about biocheck, a project I've been working on for, well, to and fro for the last 2 years. More fro than two. It's a wireless system for real-time monitoring of patients, as I say on the screen. It's meant to be used for the pharmaceutical industries or the healthcare to help monitoring patients or evaluating new drugs and the effects of them, and allows the test subjects or patients to go home and just live their normal lives without having to stay in hospital to be monitored using global devices that are too cumbersome to walk around with. So the idea is that you would do that by using smaller sensors sampling all the biometric data required, such as temperature, heart rate, blood oxygenation, glucose levels, etc. And using all these sensors that you'll be carrying around on your body somehow, it will transfer all the sample data to a PDA or a smartphone that will be carrying around, as everyone does these days, so you don't need to have too many new gadgets on you. And this information will be transferred by Bluetooth to the phone, and then collected on the phone and regularly, as often as you'd like, it will upload all this data to a central server using GPRS or any normal technology to access the internet from your smartphone. So if you've got a Wi-Fi spot close by and you allow your phone to connect to that, it will just use that to upload all the data. And in the end, of course, you'll analyze all that data using a web interface or a standard application, whichever is more convenient. So that's the concept. And it's not a new idea, I guess, but it's been an interesting project to work on, especially with APL. I've got a couple of pictures showing how this is supposed to work. So you've got the Bluetooth connection from the sensors and the GPRS or Wi-Fi connection to the server. I brought in a couple of examples of sensors. So you see they look a little bit massive there, but they're all in development stages. So this one is the latest device from MIT to measure blood pressure using wave technology that I don't know too many details about, but it's supposed to be quite accurate and not so unobtrusive. So you could practically walk around with it all day without it work.
And we could eventually look forward to implants again.
Yeah, there are implants for glucose levels, etc. But still, you'll need some kind of device to transfer the data onto a server. And I don't think they're powerful enough to do that from us to a central server somewhere.
I can't wait.
You're talking about the billions of dollars.
Yeah. So let's see. There's already plenty of wireless heart rate monitors. Morton will know. He's quite a frequent user of Polar's heart rate monitor, I believe.
Less frequently than I used.
Less frequent. You don't like what you're seeing anymore? Or?
Just very down the line.
Well, I just did a quick research this morning to see what there is at the moment. And you've got the standard Polar rate, finger sensor to, I think it's just heart rate monitoring. Garmin is a combined GPS map, routing, heart rate, everything sensor. And there was even a Sports Pro with built-in heart rate. Well, I'm not sure if it's measuring the surrounding men's heart rate or Nokia is in the process of releasing a new phone called N79 Active or something, which has a polar strap that is using a Bluetooth wireless connection rather than the previous standard wireless technology that Polar is using. Which name I can't remember now, but when I started working on the project, I was open to use Polar and failed because they didn't use the Bluetooth technology to communicate. So Nokia apparently has power enough to convince them to change technology, which I didn't have. So if you're interested in applications like just for sports and leisure, these devices will suffice, obviously, but if you are in healthcare or pharmaceutical industries, this wouldn't quite do the trick because you can't really measure everything that you would like. It's not very expandable, you can't add sensors as such, it's very limited to what you get in the box. So what I was hoping with this project is to give you an up-to-date view, so you've got real-time monitoring of the patient. And the normal device obviously is a smartphone. Everybody has them, so you wouldn't need to get much more expensive equipment. If all the sensors use Bluetooth, it makes it easier to expand and add specific sensors for a specific need, a specific patient. If it's an old person and you just want to make sure they haven't died yet, I guess it's sufficient. And of course, it's an APL. It's all really cool because everything is an APL, almost. So you've got the communication to and from the sensors from the smartphone in Dialog Pocket PC version, and uploading to the server using Conga. The Conga web application is written. The web application is written using Morton's examples of a web server, again Conga. So yeah, if you like APL, of course you don't have to use APL, but I thought it would be an interesting project to try it all out. I could show you a couple of things that I've done with this. Not a lot, because it's a little bit difficult to show the actual sensors as it's still in development state, I guess. I don't know if you would want to see my test data anyway. What I can show you is some work that I did on the Bluetooth interface. It's working on a standard PC as well, and I know there are a lot of libraries out there to be used for a laptop or for any .NET application. But as I couldn't use .NET for the Pocket PC, I had to develop a small wrapper using C++ and write my own DLL just to be able to get the Bluetooth communications working. So on the laptop now, I can show you the encapsulated class that I've used to communicate with Bluetooth. It's based, or it's inspired by Conga, hence the name Conga, but it works slightly differently. It doesn't handle all the sockets in the same way. It doesn't hide it all as neatly as Conga does. But you start off by initializing it. It's already initialized. You can use the shared methods to discover new devices, which just probes and sniffs for any Bluetooth devices in the area. Didn't find too many. Check again to see if anybody's got any naughty names they don't want to see here. You might recognize your device here. Paul N95, does that ring any bells? So I've got a similar Bluetooth application on my smartphone that I use to mimic the sensor. So this, in our experiment now, will be the Bluetooth sensor to measure the heart rate. And I'm running it as a server, so it will just wait for my PC, which is acting as the smartphone. It's very confusing, this. This Bluetooth sensor, biosensor, and this smartphone. It's a little bit difficult to show everyone on this little screen, that's why. What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the smartphone, which in this case is called Dyalog APL, and I'll put the resulting socket connection in this variable called client. So client is just a normal socket handle, and I'll use that to communicate when sending any data to and fro. The server application on the smartphone is just sending out heart rate figures, randomized heart rate figures, and it's just waiting for a connection. So as soon as I connect it now, it's been sending things to me, so I can look at the result by reading the reading from the socket. And oh, I forgot it returns a return code there, so I'll just drop the first one. Just showing me how much data it's actually downloaded. And a little bit useless at this. Let's see. So every couple of seconds it's sampling a new heart rate and sending it across the link until I close the link. That's one way that you can receive data from a sensor. The ones that I experimented with had either this serial link layer, or you had a file system, a tiny file system on the actual sensor chip, and you just had to read the data from the files. So you can do that as well, and I've written a small derived class to handle OBEX, the OBEX protocol, so you can query and read files from the file system. So I can show you a quick example of that. So OBEX, using an OBEX command, I can query the phone and ask for a clear listing. The OBEX specification returns an XML format of the directory listing, so we can see the files here in the on the phone. It's basically my Bluetooth, DLL and workspace. You can get ask for the files, or put files, move files to and from using these simple commands. So that's all tested and working. So these two functionalities make it possible to read data from biosensors via Bluetooth, because they all use one of these two methods of storing data or transmitting data, which is, I think, covered by these two. I guess that's all. Oh, I've got one more thing, but I don't know if I've got any time to show it. Yeah. It's a very quick thing on the web server, and I have a GPS sensor as well on the phone. So the idea is that you could track a patient to see if you need to contact them, or if you need to see where they are. I don't think they would like that, perhaps, but it would be handy if, for emergency, you could find their location straight away. So you put all the real-time data, and if need be, you might want to send an ambulance or at least contact them to see if they're okay. So you can log on to this web application and track the patient. I'm the only patient there. I guess I'm not very healthy, an at-risk patient.
See that one patient at which one there is
Yeah. Well, you could do that. So I've showed you an example of what you could do with Google Mail. It's quite straightforward to add markers in Google Mail, and as I have the GPS location, I can see where I am now. This is from last night, 1:15, and my heart rate was 67.98. You can't see that well, I guess, but if you hover over it, it will tell you some key data from that sample.
I don't think that is secure.
I'm sorry?
The alcohol level is kept secure.
Oh yeah. Published. Only for registered users. And it will also show where you've been, so I took a trip that morning. Don't know if you can see that much, but or what it spells out.
You've been in the army.
BAA, yeah, I've been in the army, very square, running erratically, looking for somewhere to sleep. And again, you can track these to see where you've gone. I haven't played too much with the colouring, but you could put different colour syntax on to show where there's an extremely high heart rate. You could just mark that edge with a different colour. So it's quite, I think, good possibilities to show, to highlight danger areas, or don't go close to that sea, or I don't know. He's running very fast. Maybe that's why he's got these odd values. What do I know? I think that concludes it, actually. Unless you've got questions, in which case we could take them afterwards, I guess, in the workshop.
Yeah, I've got a question now, but we'll do them more later on as well.
Is this being done for a client?
Has it?
Yes and no. Although the way Gilgamesh is talking about it is following patients, in actual fact, the clients who were interested in the ones doing clinical research, they were following groups of people under medication to see how they were behaving or how they were responding to medication for purposes of the trial. So it was more for pharmaceuticals than it was for GP.
The point is that results better you had. At the moment, you would not expect people to go out and buy it. There will be some people who bought that with concerns. A friend of my wife's, two lawyers, not short of cash, so they would instantly buy that for their child who's got severe diabetes.
Yeah.
And the point is, it's using the APL as the glue between a lot of existing technologies. You can knock things together quite easily. But the big winner there is those data points. That list of data points at the moment might take you several days of one person sitting in a hospital bed to acquire. A system like that, you're looking at thousands of data points at different times of the day from as many people as you wish to give a sensor to. And that is gold dust to medical research.
A lot of the clinical, the pharmaceuticals rather, they will give their study group a questionnaire to fill in, typically at the end of the day or at some point when it's suitable to fill some information in. And there'll be questions, how did you feel in the morning, how did you feel in the afternoon? And really, for most people, it's too late. They've forgotten what they were doing, what they were eating, how they were feeling, how soon after the medication did the pain in the head go. Whereas with this sort of technology, they can be getting a real feed in real time. And if there is a clinician watching and they see something out of the ordinary, they can get on the phone straight away and say,
Is a package, BioCheck is a program product, so to speak, that you can install to a bunch of different people?
ultimately, yes. No, it's still very much a prototype.
Right, but you're not doing it under, it's your project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What future do you see for control purposes? I don't know what there are in the way of actuators, Bluetooth operated light switches, for instance, as opposed to, central heating control, rather than putting data in and sending control signals out.
Are you saying that instead of the visors, you would have controls to
Drop from the APL to control the central heating, for instance. There are things that plug into the mains. But I'm very reluctant to plug my computer directly into the mains via somebody else's hardware.
Could refuse to open certain compartments of the refrigerator for you. You can't access the ice cream.
In principle, the Bluetooth can connect to pretty much anything you like. The circuitry that Gil developed has got a microprocessor on it, and the Bluetooth is only sending data back to the forward.
You've done that?
And the microprocessor is doing whatever it has to do. And if that's controlling the central heating system or switching on a sensor, it's but if you're interested in that side of it, then you'll have got some breadboard type circuitry you can show you.
Very.
Okay, do you think that would prevent some other application from receiving the same data?
Well, you can use secure sockets in your communication to the server. Actually, that might be a lie. I'm not sure if you can do that with Pocket PC, because you can't actually run Conga on the Pocket PC at the moment.
Which is personal situation, you find out all sorts of...
Well, what you would send to the server would only be a identification number. It wouldn't relate to a specific. It wouldn't show any personal information. It would just be a random unique identifier.
But even if the data was sensitive, you could encrypt it in some way so that what was being transmitted across Bluetooth, which typically is not secure, would make no sense to anyone.
Unless you follow someone, and then you could just harm them anyway. Pick them up and steal them. Yeah, Bluetooth isn't really designed to be secure. They've got security plans and security protocols, but it's not very powerful.
The other thing about it was using the existing technology, so you didn't have to have permanent connections. So if you're on a train that goes into one of the many tunnels around here, the central system isn't going to start sending an ambulance to the next station because you've stopped sending. It's just going to retry after a while and various tolerances built in.
Waiting to get SIM back. Various communication processes, so they don't scrub their hands and horror the man who is input for right. Then, I just get someone to plug it back in.
Okay, thank you.